Welcome to the next lesson in your 100-day blogging course. In today's lesson, we are going to do initial setup with our WordPress blog. I hope by now you have chosen a topic for your blog, registered a domain name, and also purchased a web hosting account. And by now you might also have installed WordPress on your blog. So now in this video, what I'm going to do is that for Biker Boy, I'm going to do a lot of initial setup. So here I have listed down the things that I have to set up. So first thing that we will do is set up permalinks. So I will go into the dashboard. I will go into settings. So inside settings, there is a section called permalinks. I would go ahead and click on permalinks. So by default, WordPress has this permalink structure where it has the year, the month and the date, and then the post slug. So sample post is called the post slug. Basically, this is something that you can edit for each and every post that you make. By default, the title is taken and hyphenated and created as a post slug. So I would go ahead and click on custom structure and I would just have post name. So here I can select post name like this, and this is the best option for the best SEO performance. So I would go ahead and click on save changes. So now if I go ahead and check posts, and let's say if I want to view this post, you can see that this is the permalink structure that we have. So recommended that you create a permalink structure that is very simple with just one post name, and this is something that you will be able to edit whenever you are editing a post. So for example, if I go into this post, here you can see that this is something that I can edit, and if I just edit it as post, then it would get updated with that particular permalink. So not having dates and not having other numbers helps with keeping the URL structure very simple. So now we have done setting up permalinks. Then we will check the title for the blog, which can be done inside settings general. And here I can give a site title. So I would give a more explanatory title such as Biker Boy, India's premium motorcycle blog. So this becomes a site title, or I could remove this and put it as a tagline and just keep the site title as Biker Boy. So this is also helpful for SEO, but don't worry because the SEO plugins which we are going to install in the upcoming days will have a much more elaborate SEO structure to it, where you can customize SEO titles for each and every page. Now this is done, title for the blog. I would go ahead and delete the default post because we don't want that post anymore. So I would just trash it, and maybe tomorrow we will make our first blog post. The next one we have is edit sidebar widgets. So if you go to the blog, you can see that there are a lot of sidebar widgets here, and we don't need all these sidebar widgets when people are reading the blog. So what I would go ahead is that I would go to appearance and I would go into widgets, and inside widgets I can go ahead and delete some of these things such as meta. I might not want categories as well. I might not want archives. So recent posts and recent comments is something that we can retain, and we can delete the search bar as well. In the future we can add Google custom search instead of WordPress internal search. So this is done. So now if we go ahead and click refresh here, you will see that the sidebar widgets have gone away. So now that's also done. So there are two options for the domain version. You can either have it without the www dot, or you can actually add a www dot. So if you remember, when we set up the DNS records, especially the A records in Cloudflare, we pointed both the domain bikerboy.in and the www version to a particular IP address, which is the server IP address. So here what happens is that the default right now is the non www dot version, and There is no right way to do it. Some people use the triple W version, some people use the non triple W version. But when it comes to content websites and when it comes to good brand names, then I have seen a lot of blogs using the triple W version. For Digital Deepak, I don't have the triple W version, but for this, I would go ahead and end up adding a triple W version, and that is something that you can do here. So here you can change the WordPress address and site address to the triple W version and click on save changes. So once you do it, what happens is that it kind of gets logged out because the domain has changed. Now I would go ahead and log in again. So I have entered my admin username and password and I am logging in again. And now you can see that the domain has changed to the triple W version. So I would go ahead and check the settings. So the triple W is here. So now what happens is that if I go back to the site, you can see that it's always there in the triple W version. And if I try to visit bikerboy.in without triple W, then the triple W gets added. So there is a 301 redirect, which is called a permanent redirect from the non triple W version to the triple W version. So if you are debating whether to use triple W or not use triple W, there is really no right answer to it. If you think that you need triple W, then you can build your site on it. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that once you choose a particular domain version, you should not change it again, because whatever backlinks that you are getting is going to be for one version of the website. And if you are building backlinks for the triple W version, and then if you are changing to the non triple W version, then you technically lose all the backlinks there. So that is something that you should decide and not change again. So then I would go ahead and install a backup plugin. So my favorite backup plugin is WordPress Time Capsule. So WordPress Time Capsule will take daily backups of your WordPress blog and it can store it to Dropbox or Google Drive. This will help you take a backup of your site and put it on another server if at all your website goes down. So let me just search for WPTC. So this is WordPress Time Capsule. I would go ahead and install it. Click on activate. So it asks you to sign up for an account. So I would go ahead, click on sign up and just quickly create an account there. So now I have created the account and I would go ahead and log in here. Let me just click on login. So here you can use the light or free version. It will keep backups of your site for 15 days and you can use it for unlimited websites and it will take daily backups. So here I will select Google Drive and I would connect it to my own Google account. So here this plugin will take backups of your WordPress blog and store it on your Google Drive. So whenever you lose your website because the server goes down or the server crashes or something like that, then you will have a backup of your files inside your Google Drive, which you can take and put it on another server. And once you put it on another server, then you can point your A record to the new server's IP address and your site will be up and running in no time. So I can go ahead and schedule the time for daily backups as well. It is recommended that you select your city and select something like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. where the amount of visitors on your site is going to be very less. So inside Asia, I would choose Kolkata, which would be Indian time zone. And I would select something like 3 a.m. in the morning. Click on save and continue. So now that we are done with the setup, the first backup is going to take some time. So let it take its own time. Then we will come back and check the status of this plugin maybe tomorrow. So that is done. We have installed WPTC. Next, I would go ahead and install a sitemap plugin. So I would go to plugin and click on add new. So this is my favorite Google sitemap plugin. I would go ahead and use Google XML sitemaps. Click on install. So there is another SEO plugin called Yoast SEO which also provides sitemaps, but I have been using Google XML sitemaps for quite some time and I am pretty comfortable with it. So you can access this plugin inside the settings. click on XML sitemaps, and the first sitemap will be generated. So usually sitemap is basically a page which contains links to all the pages in your website. So here you can see bikerboy.in/sitemap, and this is something that you have to submit it to Google Webmaster Tools so that Google can know, or the other search engines can know, what are all the pages contained within your website, and they will also be notified when you create a new page within your website. So we will learn more about sitemaps on a later video, but for now this is one of the things that you have to do. So now we have two more tasks pending. We will create a Google Webmaster Tools account, and we will create a Google Analytics account as well. So Google Webmaster Tools is now called the Google Search Console. So just search for it, log in using your Google account, and here you can add your new website. Click on add a property, and then there are many verification methods for verifying your website. One of the easiest methods is to download the HTML file and upload it to your server. So if you are using cPanel, you can use this method, or you can just add a particular meta tag in your header. So this is called the meta tag, and you can add this on your website header. So let's just check if the theme allows us to go ahead and add this particular header file. So some themes will have an area where you can go ahead and add it to your theme itself. Some themes might not have that option. So in most of the themes you will be able to go inside appearance, click on editor, and inside editor, if you can find the header.php file, inside the header.php file you will see some meta tags already added. Here you can go ahead and add this new meta tag and click on update file. If you are not comfortable doing this particular edit, you can also go ahead and upload that HTML verification file which we saw. So going back to the search console, let's see if the site has got verified now. So yes, now it has got verified because the meta tag has been placed in the header file. Now let me click on continue. So now we have created the Google Webmaster Tools account, and we have added the property. If you go back, you will be able to see that the property has been added. So inside the property there are some things that you can do. So here let me check. We have one new message. So here you have to add all the website versions. So basically you go ahead and add the non-www version as well. So now since I have added the non-www version, but since there is a redirection involved, it might get verified automatically. So now the non-www version has also got verified. Now I will go back, click on the www version and go check the message again. So here you can set the preferred version, and you can tell Google what is the version of your website that you want to show. Since we are going with the www version, I will select this and click on save. Let me go back into the messages and check if there is anything else. So it also asks you to select the target country. So here our target country is going to be India. So since we have the .in domain already, it says that the site's domain is currently associated with the target India. So you can add more users. You can submit a sitemap file which we have just created. So to submit the sitemap file, I would go ahead, click on submit a sitemap, add or test sitemap, and this would be sitemap.xml. So this is what our Google XML sitemap plugin has given us, the URL. So here you can see this is bikerboy.in/sitemap.xml, and that is what we have added here. So for now there is no article on the site, so there is nothing else to do inside Google Webmaster Tools right now. Creating Webmaster Tools account is something that we have done, and one last thing which we have yet to do is create a Google Analytics account. So go to analytics.google.com. click on sign up. So here the account name would be Biker Boy. Website name would be www.bikerboy.in, and you can give the same here as well. So right now we are just using the HTTP version, not the HTTPS version. So let me just leave it at it. So here you can select an industry category. Let me check. So I would select India and I would click on get tracking ID. So here in the agreement terms, many people have said that India is not available here, but it's okay. Just leave it at United States and then go ahead and click on I accept. So here you have got the tracking ID for Google Analytics. So this is the tracking ID. Now we need to add this particular tracking ID on all the pages of our website. So this is the JavaScript code that we have to add on all the pages. So there are Google Analytics plugins as well. So I would go and click on plugins, add new, and search for a Google Analytics plugin. So here it doesn't really matter what plugin you use. You can just go for a plugin which looks good and which has good ratings. So I would just go ahead and install this particular plugin. It has 1 million plus active installs and 4.5 star rating. So if you go inside this, what you can do is that you can authorize this plugin. Click here to get access code. Click on your domain. Allow permission for analytics. Get this particular code. Go back and add the access code here. So now it has fetched the tracking ID directly from Google Analytics. It is the same tracking ID that is here. And you can go ahead and click on save changes. So now we must be able to go ahead and check if the tracking ID has been set properly. So what I could do is that I would go ahead and check for real-time statistics. So this is real-time. Go to overview, and here you will be able to see if Google Analytics data is being picked up. So let me just visit the site so that the Google Analytics code gets reloaded. I would do a hard refresh, and you can see that Google Analytics has started tracking the visitors. So this is me. I'm visiting from desktop and I'm visiting from Bangalore. So we will learn more about analytics in the future videos, but for now in this video we just signed up for an analytics account and installed the analytics code on the blog using that plugin. So going back to our tasks, here you can see this task has also been done. So we did all these tasks today and you can see that it did not take us too much time. It took less than 30 minutes for the entire process. So these are the basic things that you need to do once you start setting up a website. So in the future videos, we will see what other things we can do, and we will eventually learn more about Webmaster Tools, analytics, SEO and things like that. But for now, after watching today's video, go ahead and do all these setup in your blog. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below this video or you can ask it on the forum. So thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.